Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 6.
Coming up tonight, a summer of music. There's only 2 Jazz in June concerts left this year. What people enjoy the most about the weekly festival. Also tonight, confirmed case, the first human case of the West Nile virus of the season here in Nebraska has been reported. We're going to tell you where this happened. And fast framing. A Nebraska group is getting affordable housing built at lightning speed. What motivates them to get their work done so efficiently? And that's where we start tonight. Right now, Habitat for Humanity in Grand Island is quickly creating affordable housing. Just how fast are we talking? Take a look at this. H&H Concrete and Construction posting this time lapse of their crews helping out. This is them laying the groundwork for the 124th Habitat for Humanity house there in the Tri-Cities area. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. Good to have you with us. The Habitat for Humanity there is calling these projects Blitz builds. And right now, they're getting one affordable housing built basically every single week. Channel 8's Emma Norwood is finding out how they're doing it and what's driving them to accomplish their mission.
When she gets the keys to her house tomorrow, she is going in ready to be a super competent home buyer.
The Grand Island area Habitat for Humanity is building more than just homes. They're creating a path to stability for hundreds of families.
Home ownership is very difficult now more than ever. So I feel very proud to be able to play a very small part in this awesome work, touching all of these families in this incredibly positive way.
The nonprofit completing its 124th home, marking decades of work aimed at expanding affordable housing in the community. This home going to the Carmona family, and it took only 1 week to complete. For them, it's incredibly special.
She and her 2 sons, their home burned down a couple of years ago. So she was displaced and living with family members for the last however many months. And so this is especially cool for her and her 2 teenage sons to have the keys to their own home.
Habitat homeowners helping build some of those homes, alongside volunteers and local businesses giving their time and efforts. Each finished house is another step towards strengthening neighborhoods and providing so many with a foundation they can build on for many years to come.
We think about a family that worked so hard to get there. We get to celebrate them and celebrate with them at that home dedication. But for that family, it's life-changing. So in the Grand Island area, for us to have built 124 homes, I think you have to think about it in the amount of families. That's 124 families.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
New developments in an arson case right here in Lincoln. The scene a lot quieter today than it was around 3:45 a.m. today. A fire inspector responding to a car fire determining the cause to be arson. The inspector finding 2 additional cars burned by the blaze this morning. Here's LPD's Erica Thomas with how police were able to identify their suspect.
As officers were responding in the area, they saw a vehicle with no rear lights on driving in a circle near the fire. Officers conducted a traffic stop and smelled gasoline on the driver and noticed residue on his clothing. 59-year-old Logan Johnson of Lincoln was detained and taken back to the scene by investigators.
Police also say they found footage from a nearby house that showed Johnson in an alley by the fire before and after it started wearing the same clothing. He's now in jail for first-degree arson. Passengers who were exposed to hantavirus are being released from quarantine today. So 6 weeks of quarantine and really 6 weeks of uncertainty, both coming to an end today as the 6 remaining passengers at UNMC are finally free to walk out of their units on their own. Here's one of those passengers. We've heard from him, Jake Rossmarin, documenting his departure from UNMC. He, just like most of the others, haven't been to their homes in around 3 months. That is if you add the time they were aboard that cruise ship. 3 passengers on that cruise ship did die before the exposed passengers were transferred to Omaha. Now finally, Rossmarin and the other passengers are heading back to their homes after not developing any symptoms during their 42-day stay. It is time to get a first look at your forecast on this Monday evening. We want to take a live look outside at the conditions right now. This is from our network of cameras. As you can see, a lot of clouds out there, little bits of sun peeking out here and there. And while we're officially into summer now, you wouldn't necessarily know it by today's temperatures. For more, here's Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty?
Yeah, we saw a high today in the 70s, and we should be closer to 90 this time of year. We should be in the upper 80s. So, yeah, much cooler first full day of summer than we typically see. But 77, still, you know, above the 60-degree mark, which some of us were at earlier today, north central Nebraska. Well, O'Neill finally got to 70 degrees. So 70s and 80s for just about everybody. But again, we should be closer to 90. Sunset tonight at 9:02. And we're starting to lose a little daylight, just a little bit, a few seconds every day. 74 degrees by 7 p.m., 70 by 9, and into the 60s just before midnight. Not even a breath of wind out there. That flag is barely moving, a mixture of clouds and sun on our Honda of Lincoln cam. We're at 77 degrees with an east wind at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures currently in the 70s for almost everybody. The only 80 out there is in Scottsbluff at 82. Dew points are behaving themselves in the middle and upper 50s to around 60. A few sprinkles between Grand Island, Columbus, and O'Neill. Strong storms off towards Scottsbluff and into northeastern parts of Colorado. That will send a wave into central Nebraska right around there. And scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible in the morning and early afternoon, some of which could be strong to severe. So a little strange on the timing, but we'll take a look at that in the full forecast.
All right, thank you, Rusty. The Buffalo County Sheriff's Office is thanking people who pitched in to help clean up after the storms they had over the weekend. They say it took a team effort to fix the damage, the power outages, and the safety concerns that they saw. They add that recovery after a storm doesn't happen because of one agency or group. It happens when everyone does their part. Breaking now, a newly revealed ransom note says Nancy Guthrie is dead. This ransom note received by the same Tucson TV station not long after they received that first one. The note says Guthrie died after her abduction and was buried in nature. ABC News releasing the contents of this note today. The suspect's whereabouts are still unknown, and the suspect remains unidentified. Also breaking now, the first human case of West Nile virus of the season has been detected. Last week we told you about first cases of the West Nile virus found in mosquitoes here in Lincoln. Well, Nebraska DHHS breaking the news to us late this afternoon. The first human case, it was in north central Nebraska area, and they're reminding everyone to take preventative steps from getting mosquito bites since there is no vaccine or medicines to treat West Nile. New at 6, emergency repairs around Lincoln are forcing the closure of several streets. The city giving us the heads up about the road closures this afternoon. Reasons for this include water main and railroad track improvements. They include parts of Holdridge, eastbound A, 33rd and 44th Streets. Now, with 33rd and 44th Streets, they are expected to reopen sometime tomorrow, and the same for the eastbound Holdridge Street, while westbound traffic on Holdridge there reopening June 30th. LTU is encouraging travelers to seek other routes, and they say they appreciate everyone's patience during these times. Stay with us. We have more for you after the break, including fan favorite festival. UNL celebrating 35 years of jazz in June. Which artists are ready to take the stage for the last 2 weeks of performances? We're back in just 1 minute. will be traveling during the 4th of July weekend. That's a slight increase from last year, even with the higher gas prices. 4.3 million of those travelers are going to go by car. Almost 200,000 will be going by air. And they say more than 600,000 will be going by what they call alternate modes. That includes things like buses and trains. It's a little early to know what you're going to be paying at the pump for the holiday. The gas average in Nebraska right now is $3.66 a gallon. Here in Lincoln, citizen journalist Brian showing us $3.69 at this Amoco. In this video he sent to our Now Local News app. Breaking now, legendary music executive Clive Davis has died. For over 6 decades, he discovered dozens of powerhouse names. Davis is credited with discovering Whitney Houston, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Bob Dylan, and Aerosmith, and that's just to name a few. He won 4 Grammys as a producer and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Davis died of natural causes. He was 94 years old. Well, new at 6, UNL is celebrating 35 years of jazz in June. It's Lincoln's free outdoor jazz festival, held every Tuesday night in June at the Sheldon Sculpture Garden. There's still 2 concerts left this year. They have included so far critically acclaimed artists showing up and even some Grammy winners. Here's some of the attendees with what the event means to them.
I like going to Jazz in June because it's a Lincoln tradition for our family, and it's just nice to sit outside and enjoy each other's company with the background music, and it's a good time.
We've been coming a long time, and it makes it feel like it's summer. Jazz in June arrives, it's summertime.
Now tomorrow, Josh Hoyer's Colosso 4 will take the stage to perform some raw, authentic blues. And just like always, the show will be free.
Very comfortable day out there. It's the first full day of summer, but it felt like the first full day of spring. Will summer return? Of course. We'll be right back.
Benedict Parish in Nebraska City, which is the oldest parish in the diocese. And then on June 16th, they made it to the St. Joseph Parish in Benkelman, the westernmost parish in the diocese. The group averaged nearly 15 miles of walking every single day. New at 6, an update on construction taking place in a rural community. Tri-County Public Schools making progress on their new preschool addition. Interior walls are being framed to create separate standalone classrooms to enhance overall safety. The school is also building a new greenhouse to provide more hands-on learning experiences. We'll keep you updated as construction progresses. Right now, a local flower shop is announcing a big change to their business. Lincoln Floral Market is closing their Gateway Mall storefront. After 5 years, customers can still order floral arrangements through their website with deliveries right to your doorstep. The company says they're just making it easier than ever to bring fresh flowers into your life.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Just after 6 p.m. This Monday early evening, and there is a severe weather threat in far western Nebraska, the Panhandle into parts of Wyoming, South Dakota, and Colorado. This goes through 8 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, which is 9 o'clock here. That is just kind of setting the stage. That's going to throw some energy into parts of central and eastern Nebraska for the overnight into early tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. So more on that in a second. First, this is fascinating to me because it's the first full day of summer, the first day of summer yesterday, the first full day of summer today, but it was more like spring. 76, we should be at 87, 56 for a low, we should be at 64. Yeah, that's a lot cooler than it's supposed to be this time of year. Allocam looking at a mixture of more clouds than sun, but peaks of sunshine every now and then. Really nice day. I mean, temperatures in the 70s, dew points low, not a lot of wind, and we're not getting rained out, which we could use the rain, of course, but if you needed to be out and about today, really nice day. 77, the current temperature in Lincoln, that's the warmest we've been all day. 72, though, in York and Grand Island, only 71 for a current temperature in Hastings. And the dew points have been tolerable. 50s, a couple of 60s out there, 63 in York, but most of us in the 50s. We have an east wind, 6, 7, 8 miles per hour, 12. In Aurora. That's one of the higher ones. And that's because just one little sprinkle spot shower rolling through. This may give us 4 or 5 raindrops. That's about it. Sprinkles out there in central Nebraska. Every now and then, though, a rumble of thunder. See a couple of lightning bolts? That's gone now. Strong storm headed towards Scotts Bluff. More strong storms and severe storms in northeastern Colorado. Again, that's going to throw energy into central Nebraska. So by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, scattered showers and thunderstorms start to pop up. Some of these could be strong to severe. Notice Lincoln, nothing yet, but as we head through the day, it gets closer. And when I say the day, I mean the morning hours. So kind of a strange timing on this one. In the good portion of the eastern half of the state by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, everything kind of spreads to the east, and then it really starts to just kind of turn a little bit, and it's going to stretch out and then eventually push south. Again, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. This is not an afternoon or evening event. And then there it goes, and now it's going to start to move south and cross Interstate 80 around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then spread further south and east. So kind of a strange system here, but because of all of that, the Storm Prediction Center says, yeah, it's just enough to just heads up. 1 or 2 strong to severe storms a possibility in central and eastern and most of Nebraska. Large hails, the main threat. Tornado threats way off to our west. Maybe some damaging wind for south central and southwest Nebraska. Rainfall potential's out there. We could see 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, and maybe some spots underneath thunderstorm would be closer to 1/2 inch. Forecast for tonight, temperatures pretty close to 60. I think we'll drop into the upper 50s, and highs tomorrow. Another day well below average. Keep in mind, we should be close to almost 90. Nowhere near that tomorrow. In fact, nowhere near that all week. At or below 80 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Chances for storms Tuesday, then again Thursday, maybe Friday. Small chances as we head into the weekend. And look at those temperatures as we get into the weekend and next week. Upper 80s and lower 90s.
Thank you, Rusty. Right now, the Nebraska State Patrol giving people an inside look at their training. Their recruits recently finished their 22 weeks of rigorous training. They're releasing this video showing highlights of everything that goes into it, from defense tactics to shooting practice, driving practice, and responding to active shooter situations. Here's one of the recruits with what motivated him through the long weeks of training.
It means a lot for me to go into the agency. My father's already in. I looked up to him as a child growing up, seeing him come home every day in his uniform. I knew that was something I've always wanted to do.
The training finally concluding with the recruits receiving that right there, their official Nebraska State Patrol badges. The U.S. men's national team's performance in the World Cup is drawing a lot of eyes here in Lincoln. The Rail Yard will once again be opening its patio to any fans that want to watch the next game. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Thursday night against Turkey. You might want to get there a bit early if you want to get a good seat based on how much it was packed there last week, for the watch parties. It should be a good matchup as the U.S. jockeys for a better seeding heading into the knockout rounds. And let's stay on the subject of sports because we're going into the zone next. And Nate, the College World Series all comes down to tonight.
Yeah, two teams battling for a title. We'll have an update on that game right after the break. And we'll be taking a look at two Huskers who are performing in the MLB Draft Combine. We'll see you in a bit.
Now, from the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Green's Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
The College World Series will conclude from Charles Schwab Field tonight in the final game. It's in action as we speak. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning into the Sports Zone. Well, North Carolina, Oklahoma facing off for a shot at glory in the greatest show on dirt. Not only has this been a fun series between Oklahoma and North Carolina, each winning a game in this best-of-3 finale, but these two teams have shown why they deserve to be in this top spot this evening with a chance to claim a championship and make some history along the way. The two teams going unscathed for the entirety of the tournament until they met in the championship series. Oklahoma won Game 1 9-3, and after that beatdown of the Tar Heels, it left a lot of questions of how North Carolina would respond, but they did just that, winning 6-2 last night behind freshman pitching sensation Caden Glauber, who struck out 8 in 5 innings, ending the Sooners' 9-game win streak. North Carolina is, get this, 29-0 this season when Glauber takes the field. Pretty amazing stat. And after throwing 65 pitches last night, I'm curious to see if and when he gets out there today. They're going to need him at some point, I would imagine. Tonight, getting the nod on the bump for Oklahoma is Nick Wislowski. As for North Carolina, it's Jackson Rose on the mound. And this game just getting started. Bottom of the first inning right now as we speak. So in the early stages of this championship, third game of this championship series. We'll have an update on this game later tonight, this evening at 10 p.m. Sticking on the baseball diamond, though, for a bit, two Huskers. They're going to be performing in the MLB Draft Combine. Carson Yassa and Ty Horn will participate from June 23rd to 26th in Phoenix at Chase Field. The pair are among 195 collegiate players and 335 overall prospects who will participate in the showcase. In 2025, 256 of the 309 players who participated in the Combine were selected in the MLB Draft. Both played huge parts Nebraska's successful season this past year. We'll keep an eye on how they do this week. Finally, let's take a look at the FIFA World Cup. A couple of big games going on today. One already done. Argentina beating Austria 2-0. France and Iraq at half. Going through a little bit of a rain delay right now, but France up 1-0 currently. And then Norway, Senegal. Big game for Senegal coming up at 7 p.m. Jordan, Algeria tonight at 10 p.m. And that will do it for sports tonight. Rob, will go ahead and send things back over to you.
All right, thank you, Nate. And what do you say we get a final check of your weather with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins? How's it look tonight? Going to be cool again?
Yeah, chilly for the next few days, and I say chilly, 70s.
Right.
We should be closer to 90 this time of year, but some strong storms in parts of the Panhandle. That will send off a wave of energy into central Nebraska for tomorrow, and we could see a few strong storms popping up in central and eventually eastern Nebraska through the morning hours and into the afternoon on Tuesday. But right now, if you can get outside in central and eastern Nebraska, by all means, it is absolutely gorgeous out there. But here's the storm threat I was talking about. See those storms in western Nebraska? All of that wave energy moves into central Nebraska by 6 in the morning and then sticks around through a good portion of the morning into the afternoon. A few strong to severe storms, a possibility. We'll keep an eye on it.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.
Ernie's Mattress First, your local sleep specialists.
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra with the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra, leading where it matters most. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. During GMC Truck Month, get 0%